In today's chaotically amazing episode, we dive into one of the most mind-bending hypotheticals in the Naruto universe. What if Itachi Uchiha killed Danzo Shimura instead of massacring his entire clan? Would the Uchiha have survived? Would Konoha have burned? Would Shisui have lived long enough to finally not drown in a lake? Grab your Mangekyo Sharingan and cancel your coup d'etat, because we're rewriting the entire Naruto timeline Uchiha style. Let's start with the facts. In canon, Itachi Uchiha agreed to wipe out his own clan to stop a civil war. Why? Because the Uchiha were planning a coup against the Hidden Leaf, and Danzo, the dirty old man, saw this as a threat to the village. Instead of addressing the Uchiha's legitimate concerns, Danzo pulled a Danzo and stole Shisui's eye, manipulated the situation, and pushed Itachi into an impossible decision. Kill your family or start a war. Itachi, the tragic genius with more trauma than an entire Greek tragedy festival, chose to kill his clan to protect the village and his little emo brother. But let's hit the brakes on the sadness. What if instead he killed Danzo? First, let's get one thing straight. Itachi could undeniably 100% kill Danzo. Let's not forget that even when he was dying of anime tuberculosis and barely holding his organs together with chakra glue, Itachi outplayed Sasuke and had enough juice left to hit him with a final poke and a smile. Itachi was a prodigy, a genius, a walking genjutsu Google Drive, and Danzo
was... well, let's just say he got beaten by Sasuke when Sasuke was still in his edgy eyeliner revenge boy phase. Yes, Danzo had Izanagi and a bunch of Sharingan eyeballs on his arm like a creepy flesh bracelet, but Itachi's genjutsu could have looped him like a gift. Itachi was calm, surgical, and 10 steps ahead of everyone. If he wanted Danzo dead, Danzo would have died. No doubt. Now here's where things get spicy. If Itachi assassinates Danzo before the coup takes off, two major things happen. First off, Shisui survives. Shisui was the moral compass of the Uchiha. He wanted peace. His plan was to use Kotomatsukami, his mind control eye, to stop the coup without violence. But Danzo, ever the backstabbing bandage mummy, stole Shisui's eye before he could do that, leading Shisui to yeet himself off a cliff. If Danzo gets offed early, Shisui keeps both eyes and gets to finish what he started. Secondly, the coup might have been prevented peacefully. Imagine this. Shisui uses his OP genjutsu to gently convince the clan elders to chill the hell out. Fugaku, the Uchiha leader and Itachi's dad, gets reasoned with, and peace prevails. No massacre. No orphan Sasuke. No Itachi crying in the rain at night along with the
"Because tonight will be the night that I will fall"
background music as he feels all the misery and suffering the world has to offer.
It's the
Uchiha Renaissance, baby. Now let's unravel the timeline. Sasuke never loses his clan. That means no emo revenge arc. He's still intense, but maybe he ends up like Neji, broody, but not homicidal. Naruto still grows up alone, but with less drama. The Nine Tails still happened, Minato and Kushina are still dead, Naruto still gets ignored by villagers, but maybe, just maybe, Sasuke invites him to lunch. The Akatsuki? Still a threat. Itachi probably never joins them as a spy, which means Pain still wrecks Konoha unless someone else fills that role. But here's where it gets chaotically interesting. Obito loses his key pawn. No Itachi means no emotional leverage over Sasuke, which means no insane revenge plan. Possibly even no fourth great ninja war. Yes, let that sink in. Danzo's death might have saved the world. Now you might say, but wouldn't killing a Konoha elder destabilize the village? Yes, for about 20 minutes. Danzo wasn't exactly beloved. He ran route, did shady deals, and had the charisma of a wet sandbag. If he got mysteriously assassinated, most people would shrug and go back to their missions. Hiruzen would probably just sigh deeply and mutter, "Shimura, you dumbass," and then do nothing, as per usual. Jiraiya might investigate. But if Itachi and Shisui told the truth, the third Hokage might actually take action for once. Let's imagine this new ending. Itachi becomes head of Uchiha security. Shisui runs peaceful mental genjutsu campaigns like a ninja HR rep. Sasuke stays in Konoha, probably becomes Naruto's eternal rival with less edge and more bromance. The Akatsuki are still a problem, but the Leaf Village is stronger. Naruto becomes Hokage without having to chase Sasuke for 600 episodes. Maybe, just maybe, we even get an Uchiha Kyuubi combo arc where Naruto and the Uchiha clan unite to take on Obito and Madara. Imagine Sasuke and Naruto doing a combo Susanoo Rasen Shuriken attack with Itachi in the background yelling, "Teamwork! Dattebayo!" Kaguya, sealed. War, prevented early. Boruto, still terrible. But that's another story. Here's why this timeline actually makes sense.
First off, Itachi was already morally torn and looking for alternatives. In multiple flashbacks, especially during his talk with Sasuke, Itachi expresses deep sorrow and hesitation about the massacre. He wasn't a cold-blooded killer. He was a tortured idealist looking for any other way to prevent the coup. In the Naruto manga, chapter 400 plus, Itachi admits that he tried to negotiate peace with both the Uchiha and the village before resorting to murder. If Danzo, the primary warhawk pushing for the massacre, was eliminated, Itachi's hand might never have been forced. Secondly, Shisui's Kotoa Matsukami could have resolved the coup peacefully. Shisui had the most powerful genjutsu in the series called the Kotoa Matsukami, a reality-altering technique that allows the user to manipulate someone's thoughts without them realizing it. In Naruto manga, chapter 514, episode 203, it's confirmed that Shisui planned to use this ability on Fugaku, the clan leader, to stop the coup without bloodshed. The only reason he didn't, Danzo stole his eye and ruined the plan. If Danzo had been assassinated beforehand, Shisui's genjutsu plan succeeds, Itachi supports it, and boom, no massacre needed. Itachi could 100% kill Danzo and do it clean. We've already proven this, but let's emphasize.
In Naruto manga chapter 479, dying Sasuke, not even peak Sasuke, managed to defeat Danzo despite him having Izanagi Hashirama cells and a whole arm full of Sharingan. Now imagine Prime Itachi, not sick, not spy-bound, targeting Danzo in a surprise surgical hit. This is the same Itachi who soloed Orochimaru, mentally tormented Kakashi in 0.2 seconds, and killed his clan in one night without triggering a village-wide alert. If Itachi wants Danzo dead, Danzo gets Yamcha'd. Hard, no question. Also, let's not forget, Hiruzen was passive but not evil. A lot of people forget this. As we saw on both the Naruto anime and manga, Hiruzen did want to negotiate with the Uchiha, but Danzo and the elders overruled him and went behind his back. If Danzo were removed, Hiruzen would be the top authority. And Hiruzen, while often do-nothing pacifist, he respected Shisui and Itachi and believed in peace. Without Danzo manipulating the narrative, Hiruzen likely supports Shisui and Itachi's plan, allowing for a diplomatic resolution. Also, let me just add, the Uchiha were loyal, not maniacs. Let's clear this up.
On Naruto manga chapter 385, Fugaku Uchiha was not a bloodthirsty warlord. He was a prideful but reasonable man. In fact, Itachi stated Fugaku had great love for the village. With Shisui's genjutsu, Itachi's respect, and the clan's survival on the table, Fugaku likely chooses peace.
Without Danzo, Obito loses his pawn. Danzo's manipulation caused the massacre. The massacre caused Itachi's exile. That exile pushed Sasuke into darkness. That darkness is exactly what Obito exploited.
No massacre means no Itachi and Akatsuki, which means no revenge-crazed Sasuke, which also means that Obito has no leverage. As shown in Naruto manga chapter 397 and 463 plus, Obito literally tells Sasuke that he used Itachi's sacrifice to turn him into a weapon.
With no weaponized Sasuke, the Akatsuki's momentum crumbles. The fourth great ninja war might never happen. Conclusion? This timeline isn't just likely, it's logical. Let's line up the dominoes. So this is what happens. Danzo dies. Shisue lives and uses Kotowa Matsukami. Fugaku stands down. Hiruzen supports a peaceful transition. Itachi stays in Konoha and becomes a legend. Sasuke grows up with his clan and doesn't go full Avenger. Obito fails to recruit an Uchiha pawn. Akatsuki loses leverage. Konoha remains strong. The fourth great ninja war may not even happen. This isn't headcanon. This is canon-compatible cause and effect. All it took was one shady, dirty old man dying early and hopefully brutally, as he deserves it 100%.
So, here's the revised truth. Killing Danzo wouldn't have destabilized the village. It would have stabilized it. Permanently. It would have saved Shizui, redeemed Itachi, healed Sasuke, strengthened Konoha, weakened Obito, undermined the Akatsuki, and probably prevented an entire war arc worth of trauma, death, and unskippable filler. In fact, the real paradox is this. The greatest act of peace could have been one strategic assassination. Danzo wasn't a necessary evil. He was just evil. So, instead of Danzo delenda est, let's evolve the verdict.
If Itachi had pulled that trigger first and eliminated Danzo, peace would have prevailed, the Uchiha would have survived, the shinobi world would have been spared a generation of war.
And Naruto? He could have been Hokage with his rival by his side, not in spite of him. So next time someone tells you Danzo was a patriot, show them the timeline he destroyed.
Danzo dying early is the butterfly effect that could have saved thousands, and all it cost was one politically inconvenient corpse.
One handsomely ugly deformed corpse of a dirty old corrupted man.
If you enjoyed this deep dive in the Mariana Trench, who's swimming towards the most morally justifiable murder in Naruto history, smash that like button, share it with your Uchiha friends, and comment below if you had to choose Danzo or the whole clan, who's getting packed up.
Subscribe for more chaotically amazing anime rewrites, dark lore breakdowns, anime repopulation theories, and hypothetical fan chaos Kishimoto was too afraid to write.
Until next time, stay alert. Don't trust sketchy, dirty old men that give off a "I'ma annihilate your entire lineage" vibe. And remember, sometimes the real villain is just that one PWD bandaged, grumpy, dirty old man secretly wanting to destroy your entire bloodline just because you were born.
Now excuse me while I listen to Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears just because I annihilated Danzo's whole disgustingly horrifying being right before Danzo could even rule anything aside from his perfectly well-maintained old balls.